in an off-the-ball incident and in actual fact ended up in hospital. Now actually, most of the letters that we got on this subject were not in actual fact from Roscommon people. For instance, Sean Fagan, who comes from Dominic Street in Mullingar, he's concerned that we only seem to punish players who were caught by the TV camera. Now he also wonders if players in a televised game are more likely to be suspended than those taking part in a game that is not. Well, let me put this one to Enda Collar and then. Enda, in isolating incidents like that, is it a case perhaps on our part of trial by television?
Well, I don't think so. First of all, I think that we're quite entitled to comment on whatever is shown on our screen. I think we're quite entitled to comment on that. And I think that if a player does commit an offence and it's highlighted on television, well, OK, we saw last Sunday somebody keeping an eye out for the referee, but he'd have to keep an eye out for the TV cameras in the future as well. And I think that it can only help to clean up the game.
Well, obviously, it's difficult for us to see the off-the-ball incidents, as indeed it is for officials as well. However, Martin Ryan, who comes from Drumcondra, Dublin 9, has a suggestion in that regard. 2 referees, he said, 1 controlling each half of the field. He also says that suspending players is not really the answer because the gap between championship matches means that these bans have little effect. Instead, players should be suspended for a number of competitive games. OK, Andrew, let me put this one back to you. 2 referees, first of all.
Yeah, I would say if it were practical, it's a great suggestion. I'd certainly say in hurling matches you should have 2 referees because the ball travels so fast from one end of the field to the other, it's impossible for a referee to keep up. Football, it would be a good idea also, but I can see it's hard enough to get 1 referee for a club football match, never mind trying to get 2. It's very difficult, you know, so that it's not practical really.
I'm a great believer in the other suggestion he has, which is that players should be suspended for a number of matches rather than for a period, because this idea of players coming back the evening before the next big match is making a joke of the whole
I would
thing.
agree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's ridiculous suspending a player, let's say, for 2 months, and he mightn't have 1 game during that 2 months. You know, I certainly agree that it should be games that he should be suspended for, not a period of time.
Right, Enda, well, changing from that to another topic, Colette McCormack from Leixlip, County Kildare, is becoming a little bit disturbed by the sight of footballers and hurlers' legs, or to be more precise, the things, as she calls them, that they wear on their legs. Blue thigh bandages is what's bothering her. Now, the first time that she saw one of these apparitions, as she calls it, she thought the player's under covering had come unstuck and was into view of the entire nation. Well, now that these bandages are appearing everywhere, they're having an absolutely mesmeric effect on her. Well, in fact, you're not the only one, Colette, that they're having a mesmeric effect on, because, Enda Collar, I think you're being slightly disturbed by these blue bandages as well.
Not disturbed, but I certainly don't like them because they don't look well. We had a blue one last Sunday. Now today we had a player appearing with a black knee bandage. So watch out, you'll have the blues and the pinks and everything like that coming after a while.
The multicoloured knee bandages. Well, now, as you can imagine, we get an awful lot of letters into the Sunday game, and we find it hard, of course, to get around to them all. That can be very frustrating for some people, like, for instance, Michael Dukes, who comes from Ballinasloe, County Galway, and he writes to say, I am very angry with you because you did not read the letter that I sent to you to know if the Galway Offaly game was an all-ticket one. For God's sake, will you read it out and let me know? Well, Michael, I'm very sorry that we didn't jump to attention on this one more promptly. Anyway, to answer your question, yes, those hurling semi-finals, Galway versus Offaly, and of course Antrim versus Tipperary now, it is an all-ticket affair. Tickets can be got from county boards and also from Croke Park itself, and those tickets go on sale on Tuesday morning next. Well, now let's take a look at all the results of the day in Gaelic games. We started at Leinster Championship final, Meath 2-5, Dublin